picture this.
Okay.
You get a call.
Hello, Moto.
And they're like, Will Noon, would you like to be in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I would love to. Thanks.
Here's the catch.
I have to be a homeless person having sex under the boardwalk?
You have to have your underwear pulled down, your buttocks exposed, and you're getting pumped by a...
Okay, so you're saying I'm a bottom, but...
I'm saying... Well, yeah, okay,
can I be a power bottom? Because I want to generate an immense amount of force.
You want to supply the force, I understand.
Yes.
So you would be cool, you would be down with that as like your only acting credit?
Yeah, of course.
Put it on your reel?
Yeah, of course. My reel would just be that scene.
Oh, shit, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I could take the place of Radio Man.
Radio Man, yeah. Pretty scandalous little scene there.
No, what was that? Two homeless guys banging each other? I saw, but why? That's not magical. It's not romantic. That's your idea of romantic?
Specifically because, I mean, of course, it's a zany scene by itself, but really, not only are their buttocks exposed, but the way that the bottom has his underwear is very, like, graphic. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're implying. I'm trying to picture it, but is it, like, at his ankles?
No, it's much higher than that.
Oh, it's like midway.
Just under the buttocks.
Right. There's like a certain reality to it. Like it implies that he just pulled them down. Like, puts a little pretext. So, reversal, would you take that role?
Yeah, that's tough. I think the reason why I was like, that would be the only thing on your reel is because my concern would be in this hypothetical, I have a very small acting reel. That one would be my biggest credit and would probably be the thing I would need to feature the most. And I feel like that might pigeonhole me. No pun intended.
You might get pigeonholed. I also, for some reason...
I don't want to get typecast. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so your acting credits include the CW or the COC. The OC. That's the, right?
One Tree Hill?
One Tree Hill, sorry.
I mean, does that even count, though?
I don't know.
I was just lip syncing, or, fake playing music.
Fake playing.
I wasn't delivering lines or, like,
right.
throwing glances towards a certain character or anything.
Okay,
but
so
I was on a TV show.
You were on a TV show, playing bass for the honorary title, I believe, right?
Correct. That was my third day on the job, I believe.
Sick.
And I did not know we were doing that.
Sick. Okay, what other acting credits do you have?
I mean, that's basically it. I was in a Steel Train video.
Okay. I mean...
Which is actually more acting, but
right.
I was also just, like, fucking around in front of the camera.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I've been in a bunch of videos, but now that I think about it, if I had to show clips of me acting in videos, I don't have them. Like, I don't think I acted in any of my videos.
Right, which is essentially why I was, like, on the fence about the One Tree Hill thing.
Yeah, but, I mean... Even though you were... Well, okay, think about this. Were you actually playing your bass guitar?
No.
You were acting like you were playing your bass guitar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just because you have a lot of practice at this doesn't mean you weren't acting. You know what I mean? Like, so...
Totally.
Okay, so here's the question. So what's your answer? Yes or no? Would you replace Radio Man in this homeless, under the boardwalk banging scene?
So the first part of my thought is that... my acting reel is small, it would be intensely featured, for lack of a better term. But also, the other side of that coin is that I don't see myself acting a lot in the future.
Right.
So, maybe it's a throw caution to the wind kind of situation. It would be an honor to just be on the set.
That's what I'm going for.
Being directed by Matt Shackman.
We're gonna say your answer is yes. Yes, you would take the role. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Great. Now I have a slight adjustment. What if I were cast...
Can I wait real quick? Can I make an amendment?
Yes.
Stage name.
Oh, you're going to use a stage name.
Yeah.
Also, I had another quick thought. You would have to get into like pretty heavy like costume and makeup because I don't think you could grow a beard like that.
Oh, no.
But anyway, my next point is, would you accept the role if you knew that I was going to be cast as the other homeless dude?
That would make it a lot easier.
Oh, okay.
TBH. Yeah.
Okay.
If it was someone you know, yeah, that's way easier.
Come on, do a beautiful show.
and welcome to yet another episode of It's Always Stockholm in Los Angeles. Today we are talking about Season 7, Episode 2 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The Gang Goes to the Jersey Shore. Written by John and Dave Chernin, directed by Matt. Real quick, I would like to touch on something that we didn't get to in the last episode because there was so much to cover.
Yeah. We should have done the two-parter.
I know. Danny DeVito's hair in this season.
Oh, right.
It's definitely something worth noting.
It's getting a little long, getting a little wiry, wispy.
It's just another reason to love Mr. DeVito and his dedication to the role of Frank Reynolds.
Yeah, he is incredible.
He dyes his hair black for Frank. We know that. You can wash it out, because he has pretty grayish white hair.
Yeah.
But he did live with his hair that length over the course of filming this season.
Right. Those are not hair extensions.
Right.
Although that would be amazing to see someone try to do that.
Yeah, it's just another nice touch. Like Dennis was saying in the last episode that they're becoming the gross crew.
Right.
I feel like Frank is really
pushing
fitting into that with this current look.
Yeah, he's really earning his title as the gruesome twosome. Or his half of it.
We could discuss the alliances in this episode.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty... Well, I was going to say it's a pretty classic setup until we get to the end. But so we've got Dee and Dennis, the twins.
The Reynolds twins.
Yeah, we've got the twins. Great. And they feel like they're on the same page through their arc. They really follow a similar trajectory.
Dude, these are all the pictures from our Jersey Shore vacations. You were going to burn these? Yeah. This is like the happiest days of our lives.
Oh, come on. Jersey Shore sucked.
The shore didn't suck, Frank. You sucked.
That might be a little rare.
It's a little unnerving to see them
so in sync.
Yeah, so in sync. But it tracks because they love the Jersey Shore. They have these memories of it as children.
And they go through the same experience that, let's say, sours that. And then we have Mac and Frank, another classic.
Which is an interesting one, yeah. It makes a lot more sense with Fat Mac and Frank.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't really see how that
I can't explain it, but especially in this episode, because of the...
God damn it, Frank. Eating your drinks? That is genius.
Right. Circumstantially, yeah, it all works out. Yeah, they're very, I don't want to say bro-y, but,
Yeah.
like degenerate, bro-y kind of, not that the whole show isn't about that specifically, but it really, really works well together. And then, really interesting one.
Yeah, we have a character who's very rarely on his own.
Well, I would say this character is not on his own. I would say there's quite an alliance.
Okay, yeah, that's fair because I did that the last episode.
There is an alliance of the waitress and Charlie, which until we get to the later seasons where I don't even understand how they got in and out of it, this is a very strange and unique alliance.
Yeah, circumstantial alliance.
I don't know. I love the beach so much, and it's so beautiful. I could probably just hang out here for a little while.
Cool.
As we later learn.
This is not your everyday mindset from the waitress.
This is a result of the Jersey Shore magic. Because as Charlie has been told over and over, the Jersey Shore is magic. It's a wonderful place where anything could happen and romance is in the air.
It's a magical place where people swim in the ocean and they get to ride on fun rides and they get to have their first kiss. Dude, you would love it.
Which kind of leads to a good talking point, which is the way that the gang cycles through their opinion of the Jersey Shore.
Tell me more.
Well, we start out with Dee and Dennis seeing Frank burning their photo albums from their vacations at the Jersey Shore.
Burn, yeah. Cool, man. What are you guys burning?
Bunch of garbage that's just taking up space.
Their initial response is, don't do that. That's some of our treasured memories.
Yeah, their
We loved
fondest
going to the
memories
Jersey
of the
Shore.
Jersey Shore. Yeah.
And they keep this intensity of emotion for the Jersey Shore. I would say till about 3/4 of the way through.
I would
Halfway
say-
through?
Yeah, I would say about halfway.
Yeah, I mean,
They're really struggling.
they try to salvage it, but I don't know. Their enthusiasm, they're trying to be infectious about it, and it's infectious in a way that it's like blowback to where they want to get the fuck out of there, and everyone else is like, I had a great time.
Yeah, it's a classic role reversal because Mac immediately pushes back against the idea because he's seen the show The Jersey Shore. And
What's wrong with the Jersey Shore? Come on, you've seen that TV show. It's just a bunch of sweaty Guidos getting hopped up on energy drinks and giving each other diseases.
Yeah, so Mac is initially a little, let's say, more than hesitant. And Frank, again, says that the Jersey Shore is a nightmare because he...
I had to do all the work. I never got to relax.
Yeah, Frank has direct experience like Dee and Dennis, but he has a very different perspective on it because, yeah, I mean, I think as an adult vacationing with your children, especially in a place like that, maybe it's a little stressful.
Yeah, I'm sure vacationing as an adult with children is completely different. Although I'm sure there are moments where you find stuff for them to entertain themselves, and then you're like, oh, thank God. They're just like busy doing shit.
The children are going under the boardwalk. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So
Don't worry about it.
Basically what you're saying is that Dee and Dennis have a very high opinion and fond memories of the Jersey Shore. Everyone else has a preconceived notion of it, except Frank, who has direct experience, but blah, blah, blah. But by the end of the episode, everyone's opinion has now flipped.
Right.
Because of their later experiences. So
It's a horrible town filled with horrible people.
I don't know about that. I think it's a magical town.
And I guess it's worth noting that when this episode came out, which was 2011, Jersey Shore, the television show, was extremely popular.
I'm sure, yeah.
So it's kind of the thing, it's not quite the same, but, you know, in season 15, when we were reviewing those episodes, we talked about how, like, when the gang throws in current events, it doesn't really hit for the most part. I think this kind of is an example of that because I could imagine this being a lot funnier in 2011, which is kind of a sad thing to say.
Interesting. I mean,
but it's referenced so little that I'm not comparing it to season 15. I'm just saying
I think
that element is there.
I understand what you're saying. They're definitely referencing current events, but that's what they've always done. Throughout the seasons or series, each season, every few episodes, like let's say you'll have a current events thing where there'll be some hot topic that everyone's talking about, and then the gang has a take on it, let's say.
I think this is different because it's referencing pop culture.
Right.
It's not like the mortgage crisis or...
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. But what I was saying is that I think it's not so much what you do, it's how you do it. And to me, the joke that they made about Kanye West and Trump, just to me, and maybe I'm biased and it's me changing, not them, but I just felt like it was, I don't know, it was too direct and blunt in the sense that like they were trying not to say it and they tried to like build up to it subtly and then do a big reversal, and to me that fell flat. Whereas this one, they were just like, the Jersey Shore, those guys are idiots. Because that's how everyone feels. But then they made it interesting by the change to being like, oh, these people are actually great. And it worked out in a funny way because they saved them from floating out to sea on a raft.
Is that an Italian flag? Ouch, the Guidos!
And then they found the rum ham. And like, I don't know, they build it as like a situational joke.
Yes.
Rather than like a punchline joke, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I'm not directly comparing it to that. I'm just saying I think this was probably funnier in 2011.
All right. I guess I'm saying that I don't think it was funnier or less funny. I don't think that the Jersey Shore is even a joke. I think it's more of a circumstance. We need an excuse to go to the Jersey Shore. Let's make it a thing.
I, again, have a possibly controversial opinion.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think that Dee is the MVP of this episode.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about an MVP.
For starters, the braids.
Right. She did commit to it.
And that scene where they broach the subject.
I'm sorry. Is no one going to talk about these hair?
Oh, I was waiting to pounce. I just didn't know what our cue was.
The braids. Also, I did watch a little bit of the commentary on this, and they must have done 4 or 5 locations, and a lot of it was shot months prior.
Yeah, this is a pretty ambitious episode in that sense.
Yeah, so some of the beach scenes were actually in California. I think the hospital was also on set in California. I think the hotel might have even been as well.
Right. But since they filmed like in Philly, it's probably close to...
Yeah, so some of the beach scenes where you
Right.
see the boardwalk in the background, those were Jersey. And then obviously the shore, the boardwalk and underneath the boardwalk, both
Ocean
were...
Park, I believe.
Yes, it was Ocean Park. And I actually got a Twitter response, or I jumped into a thread, or someone tagged me where someone went to Ocean Park or whatever high school.
Ocean City?
Ocean City. It was Ocean City. You're
Ocean
right.
City,
Ocean
yeah.
City, New Jersey. So somebody went to the high school in that town, and they were all excited because Sonny was filming, and they gave him like special
God.
permission and all these things.
No.
And on the commentary, they even said like, we submitted the script like months in advance, blah blah blah. And Ocean City, New Jersey, after it went live, they banned filming in the city for like years. Apparently,
Oh my God. I mean,
such negative blowback.
yeah, they didn't name the city.
No.
So initially that comes off to me as an overreaction. But
Fully.
I would say the last scene when they're hurrying into Dennis's car and there's some things said.
It's a horrible town. It's a horrible town filled with horrible people.
They're not talking about a shore in general. They're talking about an actual city or a town.
Right.
You know? So I mean,
Right.
but I wouldn't have known where this was.
No, not at all. Also, having lived in Philadelphia for quite a while, most people when they talk about the shore are talking about like Wildwood and much like. I should probably look that up, but I think Ocean City is further north. I'm gonna look it up.
As someone who knows nothing about the East Coast, essentially, or has very little experience with it, to me, when I hear the term Jersey Shore, I don't think of a place called Jersey Shore. I think of places like this, not one city or town in particular.
Right. I think of like multiple cities.
So I guess I'm going to land on it is an overreaction, but
yeah. And they, even in the commentary, they said specifically that they were like, we made sure not to use any like shot that had a sign that said "Welcome to Ocean City" or anything like that.
yeah, I think they were pretty responsible with it, all things considered. I mean, if they read the script, they know that it's not necessarily a positive view.
I mean, if you read the script and you see that there are two homeless men having sex under the boardwalk and they're talking about a toxic waste spill.
Disregard that, Frank. It's a bunch of liberal bullshit.
And syringes on the beach.
Well, we're in the steroid capital of the world, Frank. To be honest with you, as a man who works very hard to maintain a certain level of physical excellence, I find shortcuts insulting.
They're referencing the show Jersey Shore, which was obviously a depiction that was way bigger than Always Sunny. Come on.
Oh, that's a very good point.
So I don't know. It seems a weird.
That had such a large cultural impact. The
Right.
Jersey Shore television show, and yes, it was popular, but it wasn't popular because these guys were like, look at this amazing place and these incredible people. It was like a car accident,
Right. It was a spectacle.
like rubbernecking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you get offended at a comedy TV show scripted that has jokes about homeless people under the boardwalk, but you're not about this like pseudo reality show where real people are famous for being terrible, then.
And again, not that popular of a television show in the grand scheme of things.
Right. Exactly. I think, if I had to say it, I think that the people that approved it were just personally offended because they knew it was their town.
Exactly. Yeah, they're projecting.
Very strange that they would read the script and then be offended when they saw the whatever. Moving on.
Going back to Dee's braids, obviously the amusement park, whatever that ride is called, her braid getting stuck is an incredible scene.
Oh, that's really in there.
Oh, you idiot! Stop the
Yes.
Incredible all the way around. I think my favorite reference to her hair is early when they first get to the beach and she says,
Oh, man, this ocean breeze feels so good on my scalp.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
it's the way she says it too. Oh my God. I love it. Because yeah, your scalp is pretty exposed if you have braids like that.
For sure. I wonder if that's just a way, because that does seem to happen on like islands and beaches.
Oh yeah. And it seems like maybe the reason that Dennis is not making fun of her and says that he likes it because she looks like Bo Derek is because that's probably what, I don't know, preteen girls did when they were children.
Yeah.
Again, the nostalgia is just overwhelming.
I'm sure that all of Dennis's high school, summer crushes at the shore probably had braids too. So yeah, he thinks of it very
It's like
highly.
the Michael Scott when he comes back from Sandals, Jamaica.
Right.
I think he has the.
Does he have like one little braid?
I don't know if it's a braid. He has the beads on there. Yeah, feeling hot, hot, hot.
I wonder if maybe it's just easier to deal with if you're like a woman with very, very long hair.
Oh, no, definitely.
Is like the shampooing and the conditioner and the salt water versus the humidity or lack thereof.
Right. Yeah, it really calms
Maintenance
things down.
wise, you just like jump in the water, you jump out. Who cares?
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Charlie seeing the ocean for the first time.
Monumental.
Oh my god.
Holy shit! Is that the ocean?
The that commentary YouTube link that you sent me, the screenshot, like the screen cap of that is
Right,
Charlie
right.
like opening just like tearing open the blinds, the curtains rather, and seeing the ocean. His facial expression is amazing.
I think that the sunblock tequila drink is a pretty ingenious idea. And seems
Very,
like it's
very good.
based in reality.
Are you drinking sunscreen?
No, it's a decoy. We're drinking tequila out of sunscreen bottles.
Yeah, very strict open container laws here at the Jersey Shore. Cheers.
Yeah, well, don't they have a little bit of a history? I mean, I know the canned wine was a thing.
Canned wine is a perfect example of their
Ingenuity.
drinking ingenuity. Yeah.
It's very good. And then, and Charlie follows up with his sunscreen drink, which
Naturally.
is
That's-
just sunscreen.
Of course, that's what he does.
That's good. It gets you all. Yeah, you're ingesting viscous chemicals and they're getting you hot. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So his apparently was yogurt, but he thinks that maybe someone didn't wash out the container that well because it still tasted a little bit like sunscreen.
I don't know a lot about the chemical compounds that go into that, but it seems to me like sunscreen would be something that would be hard to fully clean out.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
it
It's
would
like
be tough.
greasy and
Yeah. You would need like maybe soap, but like you'd probably need like vinegar or alcohol
Right.
or something like.
because when you wear sunscreen, even if you take a shower, you can still kind of feel it like the rest of the day.
Literally, most of it's like claims to be waterproof. But yeah, and I always think of little things like that and realize like, yeah, someone's job is to like go out and get a bottle of sunscreen and empty it, wash it out, and then fill it with yogurt, stick it in the fridge.
Back to Dee being the MVP, specifically towards the end of the episode when we meet Bobby,
Oh yeah.
played by Christopher Backus. We hear a line from Dee that is my favorite, which is,
I hate to toot my own horn, but I am pretty cool, buddy.
and the way that Dennis is like touching her shoulder to try to get her to stop.
Calm down. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Less
And then
is
of course
more.
the last scene when she's yelling at Mac, and for a brief moment you get a glimpse that maybe she's actually calling Rob fat.
Get in the goddamn car, you fat ass!
See, I think that whole scene where Dee and Dennis drive up, I don't like Dee's character there.
She's frantic. She's in a hurry, man. They just witnessed a murder
Yeah.
and were digging their own graves not that long ago.
Possibly 2 murders. I'm assuming that the guy on the table did not. Oh wait, was he in?
He did. No, he
Oh,
survived.
he was
'cause
at
He's just got a bloody shirt and he's watching them dig.
watching them dig. Oh, okay. So he did. But yeah, so they witnessed 1 murder. But I understand that they would be
Multiple felonies.
frantic.
They also hit up a liquor store.
Right.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, you can't have a party without liquor, so
That's
yeah,
right.
let's hit the liquor store.
Attempted robbery. Murder.
Attempted armed robbery.
Attempted armed robbery. Although, yeah, no, I was going to say we don't know if they succeeded, but I don't think they brought any alcohol out. So it was a.
We don't know how
failed.
long angel dust lasts. That could be an effect.
Sure,
on
you
Dee.
can make excuses, but the end result is that I don't like the way she's acting. Dennis
That is crazy.
is fine, but yeah, when she's screaming at them, and this is a character she does every once in a while. Every once in a while, she just she's up 1 notch too far for me,
Okay.
and this is the one.
I disagree, but
She just keeps saying fat, fatty, fat, and I
I
was like,
love
that's
that. I thought
too much.
I thought that was great.
Dennis's line, I know we're going to the literal end of the episode, when he says there are far worse people at the Jersey Shore than the cast of the Jersey Shore. That is a
Maybe
good
that
line.
was the line that set off Ocean City.
Oh, maybe.
Christopher Backus as Bobby was Rob McElhenney's roommate in New York City, and they moved to LA together. And I want to give Christopher props because he met Mira Sorvino at a charades party, and they got married a year later, and they have 4 kids.
Wow.
My man.
Where do I know Mira Sorvino for? I think I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's great. Now I can't think of a single Mira Sorvino. Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem like super pal besties, and it's weird that it took so long for him to get in there. Seems like there's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, it is a little strange, but I don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. Maybe
True. Maybe he was busy.
Christopher was like,
cranking
"Hey,
out 4 kids."
this is a bad idea. This show is never going to work."
Right.
As your friend, I'm telling you.
Stop wasting your time.
Just audition for stuff. I don't know. That's just a hypothetical.
Yeah, maybe.
And then while I'm naming guest actors, also props to Christina Apgar as Stephanie.
Yeah, she is great.
She's great.
Also, a real
Very
life
well casted
New Jerseyan.
There you go. She
So-
kind of sounded like she had a Boston accent.
Sounds like you two could use a break. Want to come party with me and my friends?
Yes.
The Northeast is very incestuous.
Yeah, Boston just seems so specific.
It's funny that Dennis's whole, or I guess Dennis ND's whole story about like her bone structure, and she was probably very attractive back in the day. And you're like, yeah, probably. And it's like,
I
oh,
know.
duh, because she is a very attractive model actress.
She's got a decent bone structure. She was probably very pretty when she was young. Probably spent her summers here, lounging on the beach and scooping ice cream.
But still, I think very well casted, and then maybe even more important, very well
Wardrobed?
dressed, costumed,
Yeah.
wardrobed.
Or acted, because you know what I mean. I don't think she put on weight for the scene like like Mac would.
Right.
But yeah, she looked like weird, and I'm sure the next day she did not look that way. So I'm
Right,
sure a lot
right.
of what we're seeing is how she's like moving her body and holding herself.
Yeah, when I Googled her, I was like, oh, this is not the same person. Kind of
Yeah.
like when I Googled the actress that plays Roxy.
Right.
What?
Right.
What?
We should probably talk about Rumham, because that is like a cultural phenomenon.
Right. My next talking point that I have written down is the beauty of the Fat Mac Frank alliance. They start out on the same page because they're in relax mode.
Right. They just
Frank
wanna-
is making up for lost time as being the responsible one.
No strutting shit. No beach strutting for me. I'm gonna find a place to relax and unwind.
Mac is fat.
Frank, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Why don't you grab us some booze? I'll go down to the beach and get us some prime real estate before those gorilla dickheads get down there.
He just wants to post up.
Which leads to some great stuff like the previously mentioned syringes on the beach.
Yep.
And probably my favorite little small detail is the stray dogs.
Goddamn dogs, I'm telling you, dude, they were lurking before and now they're swarming.
I'm not sharing my hand with no dogs.
Yeah, the stray dogs are great. They really depict, again, we've been saying how it's like not a bad, it's not a big deal. Don't be so offended. But they really depict it as like post-apocalyptic.
Very
Like
hellish.
toxic waste. There's no one around. Like, where are the people? And there's stray dogs everywhere, including inside the hospital, which
Oh my God. That's
is
such a nice
such
touch.
a good, such a good level. But yeah, the beach is a great scene for Rob and or Mac and Frank. Did you notice that Mac seems to have dug a hole that he's sitting in?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Do you think that has something to do with his size, where it was like easier, or it looked better for him to be a little, curved?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a thing?
I mean,
Do you know anyone who does that?
Okay. It's something I would think about, and I have thought about it, let's say, but I just don't want to put in like the effort. But sometimes it is nice to have a little, like a little hammock, a little support, rather than
He's
just
got
like
a
laying
little-
down flat.
Yeah, he's got a recline going on.
Yeah. So, if you've ever been at the beach, yeah, if you're laying on your back, sometimes you have your elbows back and you're like propped up and you're
Yeah.
like doing that, like basically a crunch. If you want to like talk to the people next to you, or like scope out the beach, or like, oh, are the waves cool? Like blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have to do that. He just created a little chaise lounge.
Big point of this episode is Frank goes to the liquor store to get booze for their relax session. He comes back with a rum ham. Don't know where he got it.
This is ham, soaked in rum. It is loaded with booze.
Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't matter.
The fact that it's fully dressed with pineapple,
Maraschino cherries and pineapple.
I feel like is that even something you could buy at like a store, like I don't know, maybe somewhere. But
Let's not think about it too much. Let's just appreciate the rum ham.
Yeah.
The great fake out with Mac seeming like he's upset.
Right.
But the second that he says eating your eating your drinks is like when you know, okay, no, he's cool with
He's
it.
on board.
In order to escape the stray dogs, they conjure up a inflatable raft, head out to sea.
They set sail.
They fall asleep. Honestly, that whole scenario is very scary to me.
Yeah, it's sort of believable because when I see them do that, I think, I'm not like great at surfing. Like every once in a while, if I'm like in a beach area, I'll like rent a surfboard and like try to surf and realize how hard it is. Or like if a friend has a spare, but it's like once every couple of years. It's not enough. I love swimming around, but I think bringing like a little raft or a floaty into the ocean and just getting past like the rough waves,
right,
would be kind of sick.
This is a great idea, Frank. Great idea.
This is 90 proof ham. Screw you, mutts!
I think it would be
yeah,
great.
it would be nice, right?
Yeah,
but there is the current to consider, which is
right.
I mean, truly scary, truly anxiety-inducing for me.
We're in the middle of the goddamn ocean!
Yes, we are. Ah!
What are we gonna do?
I mean, the ocean, if you think about it, is insane.
It's very scary to someone who grew up very landlocked.
I mean, to someone who grew up 10 minutes from the ocean, it is fucking scary when you look at it and you're like, holy shit. Like, just to think about like how far away it goes.
Yeah, what's on the other side?
What's on the other side? Well, Europe in this case. But also, the crazy part for me is also the three-dimensionality of it, because not only like land where you could go forward, backward, side to side, you can also go down, and you can't see down, but you can go down, and you don't know how far.
It's there somewhere.
You can go like it's got to go so fucking far down, and you can't see, and you also know that there are a shit ton of other creatures that live under there. Like you look across the ocean and you see nothing; it just looks desolate. But there's so much going on, and that is terrifying.
Thalassophobia, I think I'm saying that right, is a specific phobia that involves a persistent and intense fear of deep bodies of water, such as the ocean or sea.
Yeah. I don't know if I have that because I will still go in it. I think I just have like a full understanding or appreciation for its power.
A respect.
Yes. I have a respect for the dangers that could come from it. So, yeah, falling asleep in a small boat or raft or inflatable raft and, just floating out to sea is terrifying.
Absolutely. Once they realize that they are essentially lost at sea, Frank is really okay with it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. He's just going to wait to float back.
Well, we're going to conk out for a while and let the current gently roll us back to shore.
Mac is pretty upset.
Frank, the current is what brought us out here in the first place.
There's a really great interaction where Frank says,
"Will you stop being so dramatic?"
And then a second later, he realizes that rum ham is gone.
Wait a minute. Where's the rum ham?
Right.
And he becomes extremely dramatic.
Yeah. You could sort of tell that it was coming.
Yeah.
No, Frank, stay in the boat. Frank, stay in the boat.
Although maybe I already saw it, so I knew it was coming. But yeah, he freaks out. And it's funny because we see him later, soon after that, start thinking about eating Mac.
Right.
Where he calls him rum ham.
He went pretty fast.
Yeah. And then Mac accuses him of being in survival mode already.
All I'm saying is that when you go into survival mode, it's every man for himself.
You seem like you're in survival mode right now.
There's a nice little reference to Castaway.
Yeah.
Rum ham is, I forget the name
Wilson.
of it. Wilson.
Yeah. When we see it floating away or being pulled on a fishing line away.
Yeah,
and
it's
he
obviously
screams out, rum ham. I actually thought it was CGI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was one of those, or like a split screen or something where,
I think there is some green screen in
right,
the ocean part.
yeah,
But so I could see maybe it was like up against that, so it gave that kind of like unnatural.
It's something about it seemed unnatural and weird. I did notice Rob had some weird like coloring on his shirt that I didn't notice, and I thought that was like a weird pattern because the front is like it's like yellowish and tan kind of,
right.
And then I thought that could
it's on his sleeve.
Yeah, I thought that could like blend into the back, and I was like, oh, that's like an interesting pattern, but I didn't know what it was until I watched the commentary, and it turns out it is fake sunburn.
Oh.
Yeah, when they wake up, they're both like obviously red and sunburned. That's how you know time has passed.
Right.
And I guess because the way they're sitting, he had his arm on top of Danny's legs, and Danny's legs must have had the sunburn. So like, yeah, his like armpit and shoulder had all this red marking.
Oh, well.
I thought that was interesting. A little behind the scenes glimpse.
And of course, they are picked up by a bunch of Italian lugs, I believe is one of the words that was used.
Beefcakes.
Some beefcakes. There you go.
What else can we call them?
But during this is a somewhat rare thing in Sunny. It happens every now and then. The montage.
Right.
Set to the Go-Go's.
Great song, great montage. This is where we see Charlie and the waitress and their romantic love story, the magical evening at the shore where they find a stray puppy instead of just a stray dog.
Yeah. They find a lot of glass.
They find a lot of glass.
And like trade glasses back and forth.
Fireworks.
But I was just thinking that this montage in particular, if you get scientific with it, it might be the darkest Always Sunny gets, specifically with the Dennis and Dee thing.
Right. I mean, yeah, the other two are the opposite of dark.
Exactly. But the Dennis and Dee story in the montage, a failed armed robbery ending with a gunshot wound with what looks like to the chest.
Yeah, chest, stomach, something, yeah.
The execution of the doctor or veterinarian or whatever it is.
Right. Shady back alley doctor, yeah.
And then they are digging their own graves at gunpoint.
Here's the thing. I think that was in the commentary, but I don't know. I think that was wrong. I mean, I guess it looked like a single grave to me. But if you're just like dumping two bodies unceremoniously into it, they would both fit for sure. But I think the doctor is next to them on the ground. I think they're digging the doctor's grave because there's no reason. I mean,
they're witnesses.
They are witnesses, so
they
maybe
don't know them. I mean, they did prove that they're cool by smoking angel dust, but
Angel dust,
right? And
Bobby and the gang.
Stephanie vouched for him.
Yeah, but I saw that as just like a mass grave.
Right. Okay, maybe I'll give you that. Possibly, yeah.
Because like, why is he doing it at gunpoint?
Yeah, you're right. Fine.
Because when they run, I mean, he does shoot at them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like when they throw sand in his eye and run, that's when they prove that they are not, in fact, cool. Despite smoking angel
Despite
dust.
being high as hell on angel dust.
Oh, shit. That does not taste like weed. It burns a lot.
But it is dark. I will give you that. But it's also not dark.
There's an episode of this show this season that I used to think was the darkest episode, but I think the specific events that happen in this might be as dark as it gets.
What is your other competitor for dark?
Dee's dead child.
Oh, yeah.
And the dog carcass.
Yeah, that's
coffin.
Depraved, and like it's different because the baby didn't exist, or I guess the baby is fine. So it ends up not being that dark.
It's more the imagery of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like when
which is why I think this is darker.
Yeah. What is it when Charlie's mom has cancer?
Yeah, which is fake.
Right. So that seems similar because they're like doing something very uncool that they should not be doing. You should not be joking and taking advantage of people by claiming to have cancer when you don't. You shouldn't be having a baby funeral for a baby that didn't die because there is a darkness to it. But it's more of like a darkness in their souls. But this one is more of darkness of like actual things that happened.
Actual evil things.
Yeah, actually, like Bobby. Yeah. Bobby happened. But on the upside, we get the magical romance between the Charlie and the waitress, and then Frank and Mac having just the best time with the cast of the Jersey Shore. Not actually the cast of the Jersey Shore.
Right.
Just a bunch of Italian hard bodies on a boat just dancing their asses off.
Getting spray tanned is pretty great. They have like a station set up on the boat just for that. But I think the high point of this is Mac getting steroids injected into his butt while he's lifting weights.
They brought weights onto the boat. And the shot after that, when he like does the Christ pose with the weights, and his smile is so good. He looks so happy and fulfilled. And there's a lot of fist pumping is great.
The last episode, when we were discussing Fat Mac, and I was researching that, and I was watching like a men's health video where he was talking about the physical process of getting fat and then losing the weight. They actually used that image because he was like, yeah, in order to look more fat, I lifted really heavy weights. So, I would have like a base of muscle, and then the fat could just add on to that.
Right.
And they have the clip of him smiling, like sort of struggling with the weights.
So good. Also, it's quick, and sometimes you don't realize it, but I think all spray tanned up with his shirt off, Danny DeVito looks so weirdly normal.
He looks so much more normal. Yes, he does. It's the hair. His hair is slicked back.
I think his body shape. So when he wears skinny jeans, he looks insane. I think there's some transitional geometry that happens for me that makes me like love and be awed by his shape. Whereas he puts on some swim trunks and he just like looks normal. You just see this, like, he looks like a short barrel chested dude with skinny legs.
The larger swim trunks really,
it helps
mask
it's
the natural shape of.
Yeah, there's something happening between his waist and his knees.
I think
thighs.
he has really, really skinny thighs.
Yeah. I think that it's like it's almost like cartoonish, when a cartoon character is kind of like just like an oval with legs, kind of.
Right. Yeah, it is very cartoony.
But like his chest and stomach are so like beefy, and I don't know. It was just, he looked great, and they were having so much fun. I had fun with them. And
totally.
Then they were like fist bumping and dancing with all the young hard bodies, and then Rumham shows up and they get stoked on that.
Nice touch.
So good.
Danny DeVito eating, the way that he eats in that scene is incredible. Just animalistic.
Yeah. I think that's why he has so much fun, because he just like lets loose anytime he eats in this show.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to the thing we were talking about with his hair. Like, he's just letting loose is exactly the way to phrase it. We haven't talked too much about the waitress and Charlie. When the waitress is high, it's really very sweet. Even when they get along in later seasons, I think this is chemical, but it is gentler and more loving than any other interaction.
For sure.
Them.
I don't know, with watching it for the first time, if you think it's the magic of the Jersey Shore or if it's a dream.
Right.
Or maybe you do think it's drugs. I wouldn't have assumed that, but
I did not think that the first time. No.
Yeah. But there's literally something magical about it, and it fits perfectly with Dean Dennis's like hype of the Jersey Shore. Anything can happen. And it did.
I think my favorite line from their storyline together is after the waitress wakes up sober and is disgusted by Charlie and with herself. She says something like, I'll pop in the line, but it's like,
that sounds really weird and gross.
Oh, really? Well, I suppose now you think this is weird and gross.
Oh my God, Charlie, come on.
It's like a crab?
A dead crab.
Which is so funny because, that is weird and gross.
And I think that's a pretty good summation of the difference between her on ecstasy and her off of ecstasy.
Yeah.
Because on ecstasy, she loved everything that he was showing, all the sea creatures and weird
that dead
trash.
Crab is great. Yeah, these broken pieces of glass are amazing.
Yeah.
I found one for you.
In the sober light of morning, not so much. I don't know if you noticed, but
I bet
Charlie,
I did.
Okay, well, I guess I didn't notice. I heard about it, but as they're driving away, Charlie is showing off his shiny piece of trash that no one appreciates, and he drops it out the window. in the very, very last second.
The way that he drops it is so funny. It really does look like an accident because he's like, oh, and the cut is so fast.
Yeah, he's like
really great. If you haven't caught that, I would highly recommend just watching the last 30
1
seconds.
second. Yeah,
It's so good.
Yeah, he's in the back seat. He's like maybe got it out the window to like see it reflect in the sun, and then
Right.
like they hit a bump, and he just loses it out the window and is so upset, and then cut. It's perfect.
Beautiful way to end the episode. Will Noon, what is your letter grade for The Gang Goes to the Jersey Shore?
I'm gonna say A+ because it had a lot of great moments. It didn't. I mean, it's not quite where we were last episode, but
Right.
you know, just the rum ham and like some of the outrageousness of. We didn't even talk about the roller coaster with the braid and Dennis vomiting in that scene, like holding it and then losing it. So
Something
good.
about the slow-mo with the audio in there, that's like an instant thing that I think is funny.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't matter. I'm going to...
It's good.
The like pretty shitty CGI of
the braid,
Yeah.
the blood, yeah. So it had its moments. They weren't more like punchliney moments, but there was a lot of good stuff.
I am giving this an A.
I understand.
Yeah, it is sandwiched between two of my favorite episodes of Sunny. So, you know, they can't all be A pluses for me. They can't be for you.
Or can they? Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of great stuff. I guess specifically for me, the Mac Frank alliance in this episode is just so great. I think it has something to do with Fat Mac. Fat Mac and Frank just seem a little more simpatico.
All right, let's see if we get any more in the next season or season and a half or whatever it is. With that, we can bid you farewell. Feel free to reach out to us at Always Stockholm. And on Instagram, where are we there? Always_.
Exactly. Stockholm. Not always _ exactly. Always _ Stockholm.
I am going to grab that URL or that handle real quick and just sit on it.
We'll see you next time.
dicktowel.net. All right. See ya.
Brought to you by the Natty and Noon Network.